It is stinking hot in here, and of course the bugs are crazy, and I choose to shoot a fire video. What the hell? Sorry guys, I gotta get a fire started. The bugs are bad, and I gotta get some relief from these guys. They're making me crazy. I really don't want to do this in my with a bug net on. So let's just get into it. So I got this pile of smalls here. We're gonna light this up with a flint and steel. Never done it before. Don't know if it's gonna work or not. I do have some charcloth, so we are gonna use that. And then we're just gonna go for it. I got a pile of old wood here that I had from a fire before. Hopefully we can generate enough smoke and get these little critters out of here. Then we'll get into actually talking about flint and steel. All right. So I got my piece of flint. I got my steel and some good quality homemade charcloth. We'll get into that a little bit later. There we go. See? I'm gonna take that charcloth. I'm gonna tuck that in there nice. I'm gonna fold it over, give it a little pinch. Now, if you can, pay attention to the sound, okay? There we go. See our sticks are burning there? Let's turn that upside down. Let them do their thing. Sorry guys, as you saw, got that fire started real quick with a flint and steel. But should a flint and steel really be your main fire source or your primary fire choice? I'm gonna have to go with no. Only because if you're looking for a primary, really there's only two that really hold up and stand up, and that's a lighter and a ferro rod. Those are the two things that are the bomb, really. But why not flint and steel? Well, flint and steel is really good, and you can see you can get a fire started real quick. I just did it. But you're going to need three items. You're going to need a steel, you're going to need a rock, and you're going to need a some kind of charred material to be able to catch that ember. Now, or to create an ember. So, why are we even talking about it then? Well, really, the flint and steel is a great tool to move on to friction fire. Now, when you're making your tinder bundles with flint and steel, yes, you can go the quick route like I did, but if you really want to take care of it and really work on it, with the flint and steel, you have that charcloth, and the bigger of a piece of charcloth that you use, or charred materials that you use, the more heat you're going to generate, and it's going to dry out those materials, keep that ember burning longer, and give you a chance to light that tinder bundle on fire, even with marginal materials. Now, like I said, we did have a lot of rain last night and the night before. Poured rain for about 2 days, thunder and lightning storms, poured everywhere. But with all the moisture that was inside that stuff, I was still able to create the fire, so it worked out. But flint and steel is going to get you and get your tinder bundle prep in shape for friction fire. So when you see these guys that always spin out an ember and like, yeah, I got it. Well, no, you didn't. You only got 50% of the way. To do these drills, you need to blow a fire all the way through. So once you spin your ember, you want to put that ember into your bundle or your char cloth into your tinder bundle and blow it to flame. Then you have success. So practicing this with your char cloth and other charred materials and getting into these tougher charred materials, and then actually finding some materials that don't need to be charred, and there are some out there, will get you in shape for friction fire. So let's explore this a little bit more. But first, what are we going to need to get a fire started making a friction fire? Let's take a look. So what are we going to need to get a fire started with flint and steel? Well, all the pieces are right here. So first, you're going to need a piece of steel that's of high carbon steel. So it can't, some people say it can't be stainless steel, but I actually have gotten a spark from a gonzo knife that was stainless steel. It was a 440 stainless, and I was able to get a tiny little spark to land on a piece of charcloth and get it to work. It took about 75 strikes, but in the end it did work, but not your best choice. This, however, will work quite easily. You'll need a really hard stone. It doesn't have to be flint. It can be quartz. I think probably granite will work. There's many other stones that'll work. You just have to find a really hard one. Best way to figure this out is grab your steel, go for a walk in the woods, pick up stones and start whacking them. If you're getting sparks, then you know it'll work. It's hard enough. You'll need some kind of charred material. Right here we have some charred denim, which is one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites. And over here we'll have some kind of cotton materials, natural fiber materials that you can, char up inside of a charring tin, which is another thing you'll need to make your materials. Now, inside this, I have my two favorites. I have denim jeans rolled up, and I don't know what kind of cloth you call that, but it's all cotton, 100% cotton, and it's like something you'd use for a towel or a face cloth. That works great as well. So basically, you're going to have a tin with a little hole poked through the top of it. Where are we here? Whoop, there you are. You can see there's a little hole poked on the top of it. You're going to cover up that, and you're going to go ahead and toss this right onto a fire somewhere or in the coals. And when the smoke stops coming out, what I like to do is I take the can out, I give it a little shake, let everything move around a little bit, and I toss it back in there for about another minute or so. When it stops smoking, I know it's ready. Now, after a couple of minutes on the fire, you'll start to see a little bit of smoke coming out of the top of the can. That's completely normal. Sometimes you may even see a bit of a flame coming out of the top of the can. That's fine too. The one thing you want to make sure of is that your can is perfectly sealed, besides that little hole in the center, to not let too much air in. So basically, if you're thinking about a fire triangle, you've got your fuel, you've got your heat, and you've got your oxygen. You want to cut out the oxygen. So once the oxygen is gone, those two other elements are going to be in there. They're going to be reacting with each other, creating heat, in you more heat. But the one thing they will do is, instead of actually catching things on fire and burning them, it'll just char them. And that's what we want to have happen. Just turn them into a carbon-like substance. Now, there are a few techniques you could use to strike your steel against your flint that may help you get some more success. For one, you want to make sure that your flint has a nice sharp edge on it. You want to make sure your steel is in good condition, nothing screwed up about it, hasn't been softened by putting a fire or anything like that. You want to make sure that this is nice and hard. So as long as this is hard and this is hard, and when you come down and you scrape with it, basically you don't want to bang it. You want to just come down and scrape it. So the sharper your stone is, the more this is going to work. Now, if your stone isn't that sharp, you may have to find a way to nap it a little bit and flake off some edges and make it sharp again, and that'll help you get more success. Now, I have found that holding the stone straight, you can get some good sparks. If you hold it up on a 45 a little bit, you get good sparks. Not much of a difference, but I tend to just turn it up a little bit. For no other reason, just to hopefully scrape the pieces upwards, because I want them to land on my piece of charcloth. Now you could use a giant piece, you could use a small piece, but you will see around the edges they seem to be a little bit frayed and whatnot. Well, those little frayed edges are going to be easier, are going to catch easier than the flat edges, in my experience anyway. So what we'll do is we'll take our piece, we'll fold it up a couple of times, hold it up really close to the edge. You know what, I'm going to bring you in closer, you're going to be able to see this better. Alright, so basically what you want to do is, you see it has like a little frayed edge and you've got the flat edge. Well, I like to put those little frayed edges close to the edge of the stone where I'm going to be striking it. And then I'll just... Now when you're first starting out, well, it almost caught. When you're first starting out, what I suggest is slowly just scrape it, just to get the right angle, and then increase your speed, and you'll get more and more and more sparks. And you see, right where I told you it was going to catch, it caught right along the edge. Let's see if we can put this out. Nothing else? Okay. So we're going to fold this over again, and we're going to use the flat edge where we're going to strike. Find a good part of that stone. So we've got the flat edge, and see how many strikes it takes to get it to the light. Well, that was a really good one too. There we go. We got it to light, and it lit on a little hole. See where those frayed edges are? That's what they like to see, that's what they like to find. So those little tiny sparks want to land on a dry, tiny little piece of something that's probably going to be smaller than it to get it to light. But there we go, success. So in that method we just used, we took the steel and we struck the stone. Now, very effective that way, but you'll see that the sparks tend to go up and down. Well, maybe not on that piece because it's all finished, but here. See, most of the sparks tend to go up. Hopefully you're catching that. But if you have natural tinder, I don't have any with me today, but if you have natural tinder and you want to actually get this to spark into a natural tinder, they tend to get really crumbly after you've made them, and when you're trying to get them to light, they they tend to crumble apart on your stone. So I like to take the stone and actually strike down. But anyway, let's give it a try. We'll fire some into our can here and see if we can get that to light, to catch an ember. So right, when using natural tinders, they tend to be really crumbly and fall apart on your stone. But if you want to be able to get this to light, you're going to want to do the same method. Instead of the steel hitting the stone on an angle, you're going to want to direct those things down. Now, same thing, same practice. Just find yourself a nice sharp bit of that stone, and then start off slowly. There we go. Whoop. Now you see, we got a whole bunch of these lit. See that? And it doesn't take long when the wind's blowing. But now, we don't want these to be all used up, so we're just going to take this lid, pop that lid on there, leave it shut for a couple of minutes, and those are going to go right out. All you have to do is pick your pieces out, put it in your tinder bottle, blow it to flame. So I'm going to remove it from the fire for a couple of minutes. We're going to let it cool down just a tiny bit. I'm going to shake it, put it back up onto that fire again just for another minute or so, and then we'll check it out. All right, so while we're waiting for that charcloth to cool down and check it out, I'm going to quickly put some bacon on that fire, at least on those coals while it's still hot. And I'm going to have a quick bite to eat because I'm getting a lot hungry. All right, nice pile of bacon right there. Let's get this thing set up. All right, tinderbox is cooled down to where we could actually touch it. So let's open her up and take a look. So here you go, all nice and black, all rolled up, and you can unroll it and see what you got. Now, we're going to want to test some of this out and see how she goes, but I have a feeling it's going to work out just fine. So this is our face cloth material. Hopefully you're able to see that, but we're just going to stick this on there and give it a whack and see how we did. Now you remember when we put it in there, it was kind of like a beige color with some green stripes on it. See how she works. Let's find a better piece of stone right here. There we go. One shot, and I want to point this out. Ooh, it's really hot. It's spreading and growing, but it lasts because there's actually some meat there. Let's try a piece of that denim. Here's a piece of that denim that we did. Peel that off. We'll put that on the stone. There we go. And look at that. That caught right in the middle. But you see how slowly this spreads? That's with wind blowing right on it. Some charcloth made out of other materials, or thinner materials, or fluffy stuff, it burns up real quick. Once you've made your charcloth and you've put it in a tin or somewhere, you want to be able to keep this protected with everything you got, because once that charcloth gets wet, it's useless. It will not work. So what happens if you don't have one of these guys lying around, but you do have some charred material? Well, you could always use your knife. I have an Opinel, works very well. It's a high carbon steel blade. I've got a silky gomboy here. This works really well. This throws sparks like a boss. There's many other things you could use. So you could have a steel, you could have a saw blade, you could have a knife. As long as it's a high carbon steel something, then you should be able to catch a spark off of it with a nice stone, a good hard stone. The gomboy is a sparking monster. Once you have all your tinder bundle, all your stuff you're ready to make your fire, all the rules stay the same. Have all your stuff ready to go, piled out. You didn't see it this time, but I actually had a bunch of my smalls off camera. I piled them over here on the floor. But when you're getting ready to do this and you want to get your fire started, have your bundles, your tinder bundle, your smalls, your mediums, your fuel, everything ready to go. And once you get your ember and have your fire started, your big pile of smalls go on. Stay away from that one stick trap. Put a big bundle on there, get it going, get your mediums on. As soon as the flames have passed the top of your tinder bundle, or the top of your smalls, you're ready to go. Put your mediums on, and then you can put on your large fuel. But have all your fire prep ready, hit it with a spark, and go from there, and you're gonna have success every time. And then once you get really, really good, and you start noticing that it takes like 2 or 3 breaths or blows to get your tinder bundle to light on fire, well, then you know you're getting better. And sometimes you'll sit there and you'll blow and you'll blow and you'll blow and you'll blow and you'll blow, and it takes forever to light because the stuff is wet. But you know what, that might be something worth trying. Let's see if we can get a birch bark tinder bundle put together, and we're gonna wet it with some water, and then we're gonna see if we can actually get it to light with a flint and steel. Here we have a nice pile of birch bark. I'm losing some here. Here we have a bottle of water. Give it a good shake. Hopefully this is staying in picture. I'm just going to put it right here. Can you see it? Alright. Oh, there's my stove. Now, we're going to need a big pile of charcloth to get that on fire. But I'm willing to bet that a ferro rod wouldn't succeed too well with that either. But let's see what happens here. Alright. We need to make sure this is going real well. Alright, see if we can have success. Here's my wet tinder bundle, put it on my knee. Ow. That was rough, but we got it. Look at that. That's birch on fire there. Now, flint and steel may be a primitive way of making fire, but it can be real effective, even when the tinder is really crappy. Now, I almost didn't make that and I burnt myself multiple times. I'll be honest with you, but we still got the fire going. Sorry guys, you guys must be wondering who won that last giveaway in the first fire skills video. So let's check it out. Enter in the URL, get YouTube comments. Let's start. All right, here we go. The winner is Shovelhead 8. He is the big winner of the FerroFire XXL fire starter. So there we go. Shovelhead 8, you're the winner. Contact me, buddy, and I'll have that shipped over to you. So right guys, we got the winner for the last video. Well, in this part 2 of this series, we also have a giveaway going on. In this video, I used this fire steel that I bought from Firebox Stove. Came with 2 stones, a steel, and a little cotton bag. I bought one for myself, and I also have one for one of you guys. So, how do you enter to win yours? Well, it's very simple. You need to be a subscriber, you need to hit that like button, and I want you guys to give me a hell yeah down in the comments, just like in the last video. And one of these will be going to one lucky winner in the next video, next Fire Skills video. I'm on the fence of what it's going to be about, but it's going to be a good one. So it's one of 2 videos. So here you go. If you want to get one of these guys, then definitely hell yeah, be a subscriber and hit that like button, and you could have a chance to win one of these kits to yourself. And I'll even throw in some charcloth as well. I'll toss that into the bag in a little Ziploc bag. How's that sound? Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna go get my bacon sandwich going on, and then we're gonna get out of here because I'm starting to get a little bit pissed off with these bugs. Let me tell you guys, this is hitting the spot. I was getting so hungry. To all you new subscribers who've subscribed recently, thank you very much. I hope I'm keeping you entertained. And for those of you who've been around since the beginning, thank you so much. Your support, you have no idea how much it means to me. Really awesome, guys. So I hope you guys are liking this Fire Skills series. I know this is a pretty simple one. Everybody knows about flint and steel, but I really just wanted to show the power of flint and steel. Yes, it is not the best choice for fire making, but no, it's not useless at all. Now, when you could take water, pour it right into your tinder bundle, shake it out a few times, take a bunch of charcloth, throw that in there. That means you can get a fire started in the shittiest conditions you can imagine. That'll do it. Now, as long as you have enough material around to actually get a coal and an ember big enough to be able to dry that out and light it on fire, that's fine. But something like that, you won't light with a ferro rod. Not until it dries out. So flint and steel does have a place. Just my thoughts. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Be sure to enter in on that giveaway. Be sure to get a hold of Shovelhead 8 and let him know that he won. He's the big winner. And I'll see all you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. Get out and explore. Man, fire videos are always fun to shoot. Here are 3 more videos that may help you on your quest for fire. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.